Now, we all want to know what exactly goes into the food that we are eating. And for our next guest, Research and Development Technical Manager at Rainbow Chicken, Tasha Archery, is her passion. Now, she's here to talk about the development phase of Farmer Brown's Nourish range and the challenges and the interesting curveballs from development to shelf. Now, it's so great to have you here, and I'm so fascinated because Farmer Brown's Nourish range, of course, we love it here. And from a developmental point, what were some of the things you had to take into consideration when developing this range?
Hi, Zoe. Thank you so much for having me. I would say right at the onset with this Farmer Brown Nourish range, we looked at the key product attributes that needed to be achieved. And some of them are 100% breast fillet, 100% South African chicken, MSG-free, preservative-free, a really nice succulent chicken core, and the last but definitely not least is the Heart and Stroke Foundation endorsement.
And that is what is key, because to get that Heart and Stroke Foundation endorsement, you have to tick certain boxes. What were some of those things you had to aim for to meet those requirements?
So when we went into this, there was no benchmark product that we could compare or evaluate in terms of the nutritional analysis and I think the overall product delivery. But at that point, we knew what the Farmer Brown Nourish range would bring to the table and believed it was worth a shot at that heart logo. The Nourish range is really made with premium, carefully sourced ingredients with the consumer in mind at all stages of that product development.
And to get that little heart, of course, a big focus is reducing the number of sodium. Now, what levels of sodium does the Farmer Brown range, Nourish range contain, and how did you guys manage to make sure that you reach that target?
So sodium is present in our diets and it occurs naturally in most foods. In the processing environment, sodium can be added by means of salt as a flavor enhancer or even as a preservative. Too much salt in the diet can result in high blood pressure or contribute to currently existing or worsen existing high blood pressure conditions. For the Nourish range, we had to aim for the sodium to be below 450 milligrams per 100 gram of product. On our first attempt, we were slightly higher.
Okay.
We then had to go back to the drawing board, look at the sodium contribution of each ingredient going into the range, reformulated, redid the nutritional analysis, which resulted in the approval from the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
That is so exciting. I mean, to be able to, go back to the drawing board and to retest and I'm going to use the word play around, but I know for you, this is your job. Can you tell me some of the things you love most of being part of that development team?
So this project was quite interesting, but I would definitely say that launch production run. It just tied everything so nicely together. The product ran down that processing line. It got packaged in the punnet with that really beautiful artwork, with that heart logo glaring right back at you.
Yeah.
That was pretty epic.
And how much of the tasting do you get to do?
A lot.
Oh, listen, that is amazing, because what is incredible is the Farmer Brown Nourish range. It is packed with all the nutrients, the fiber, the minerals, the vitamins. Can you highlight some of those, what people can find when they do buy the Farmer Brown Nourish range?
So on our whole grain chicken fillet, we chose quinoa and linseeds, and both of those ingredients are superfoods. Quinoa can be considered heart healthy because of the omega-3 fatty acids, while linseeds are really rich in fiber. Personally, I love this whole grain fillet. It has a stunning visual paired with that nutty and slightly earthy flavor undertones from the quinoa. The next variant is the lightly breaded. So how it usually works for a coated product, it's a 3-step process. But to deliver that lighter, more delicate crumb, we went with a 2-step coating process. And then in terms of overall nutritionals, the lightly breaded has the lowest sodium value amongst the 3. Our last variant is the sourdough chicken fillet. Fun fact, our sourdough contains actual authentic sourdough made all the way in Gainsborough, UK. And I think that really leads to that delicious crunch that you get on that crumb. And sourdough in general has many minerals and vitamins that is beneficiary for day-to-day health.
Listen, that's what we want. We want to put the good things in our body. Tasha, thank you so much for joining us. And this really is incredible, from freezer to fryer, which is what we want. And it's time for you to win 3,000 Rand cash with Farmer Brown. Now, to enter, reply to the competition post that is on Expresso's social pages and tell us, what do you love about Farmer Brown's crumb chicken and why? Don't forget to include that hashtag Farmer Brown. The competition will close on Monday, the 8th of May at midnight. There are T's and C's that can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Farmer Brown's Nourish crumb chicken breast, proudly made with the healthiest ingredients to fuel your body with wholesome goodness. They taste so good because they eat so good.